Guys, can you see my screen? Can anyone confirm?
Yes.
You see the portal, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we'll wait for 2-3 minutes and then we'll start. As while others are joining, anyone has any question related to yesterday's session, day before that? We almost completed NSG on Friday, but yesterday Henty had a question that how do we disconnect two subnets using NSG, and we did a practical. We deployed two virtual machines in different subnets, and then we changed a rule and we saw how it works. And I asked you guys to at least try that. I hope you guys are doing it. Because I have been telling you only attending these lectures or these sessions is not going to help you. You will have to do study, practical and theoretical, and that is the only thing which is going to help you to clear your interviews. So anyone who practiced, who read, and now is ready with few doubts, because if there are no doubts, it clearly shows that you guys are not practicing. Because I'm sure when you start practicing, you will get stuck somewhere. आज भी हम लोग कभी practice करते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं फंस ही जाते हैं, and then we'll have to refer some old videos, कहीं YouTube, कहीं Udemy, कोई article वगैरह. So if I don't get question, कुछ यहाँ पर नहीं आता, then I come to know कि you guys are not practicing. So please make sure that you practice. Unless you practice, you will not uh, get hang of it. You will not be able to say that with confidence that you have been working on this. And if you go in an interview and say that okay, I have done this course, though I have not worked on this, but I have done this course, and you give me a job, no one is going to entertain you. So you will have to portray, you will have to lie that you have been working on this portal from long time. And the moment you say, the expectations of an interviewer वो थोड़े से बढ़ जाते हैं, and then they expect you to answer. But जब अगर पैकेज बढ़ना है तो expectation भी उसके बढ़ेगी. Otherwise you can start from scratch. I am sure no one wants that. ये Azure के सर्विस डेस्क, Azure के scratch से आप शुरू करो, जहाँ पर एक 6-7 लाख के पैकेज से आप लोग स्टार्ट करो, देन दे विल नॉट आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस. तब वो आपके थ्योरेटिकल नॉलेज पे जो पढ़ा हुआ नॉलेज है, एजी 900 का जो नॉलेज है, उस पे आप लोगों को ये जॉब मिल जाएगा. बट इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग 10 प्लस 12 14 15 इस रेंज में कर रहे हो, सो दे कैन नॉट जस्ट पे यू बेस्ड ऑन योर नॉलेज, जो बस आपने ऐसे यहाँ वहाँ 2 आवर के सेशन में ये कर लिया. दैट इज नॉट सफिशिएंट इनफ गाइस. So I think it's already 16:06. We'll start. We have less people today. Let me see if someone else is joining. Okay, guys, let's start. So anyone has any doubt? from previous sessions yesterday, उसके पहले कोई भी जो भी आप लोगों ने अटेंड किया है, किसी ने रिकॉर्डिंग देखी है वो टॉपिक्स पर? If not, then we can proceed. If yes, we can at least today, as we have less quorum, so we can try addressing those issues. But if we keep spending time on revision इस तरह के, so course कभी खत्म नहीं होगा, आप लोग interviews जल्दी दे नहीं पाओगे. Okay, bhai, no doubts.
Yes, well, bhai, I mean, I watched your previous videos, so
So
no
till
issues.
subnet and everything, it is clear to you how
Yeah,
we made those two subnets, how we made those two machines, and how
yeah,
we cut the
how you
communication
blocked it.
between two
Yeah,
subnets. Okay.
I watched your videos. Yeah.
Okay. Juhi, did you get time to watch yesterday's video?
I will do that today.
Any doubts prior to that video, prior to yesterday's session, NHGs related?
No.
Because we are done with the NHGs topic.
Yes.
What
all
about
good
you,
so
Sana?
far.
Did you get chance to watch videos which you missed? And any doubt?
No, not yet. I'll watch them soon.
Srishti, what about you?
No, on MSG, I don't have any doubt.
I hope Sumaya, Yogesh bhai, this is clear for you, right? I think Sumaya, you also missed a few
Sure,
videos,
but
so I
yes.
hope you watched them, and if you have any doubts, please let me know.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so let's start. Today we will start a topic called VNET Peering. All of us have read virtual network. I mean, we have covered a few of you who have missed those videos. Please watch them and you will understand what is a virtual network is. We have explained it in detail. With virtual network, we have discussed CIDR and subnet and everything. We have discussed that. So we are not going back to discuss a VNet. So we are talking about VNet peering today. That what is a VNet peering? So while I open this, while I open a paint and draw some diagrams to explain the VNet peering, could one of you explain what is a VNet?
It's the virtual network. You can say a space on the Azure cloud, I mean, any cloud service to manage your network.
Right. How many addresses can I have? IP addresses can I have in one VNet? It depends on what. Is it a limitation of VNet? Is it a limitation from Azure? Can we decide it? What is the factor? Anyone other than Akib bhai can answer. What is the factor which decides available IPs or usable IPs or number of IPs in a VNet?
Cider block.
Perfect. From where do you get this CIDR block? Anyone else can answer. From where do you get this CIDR block? Or what basis do you select कि क्या CIDR होना चाहिए? What is the benchmark
As
information?
per the client's requirement.
A requirement of what?
As per the client's requirement, the request that we receive.
Yes, but what? What will
How many IDs?
how many IPs? Right. Number of IPs.
No.
Number of IPs will be
Numbers of
mentioned by
particular subnet.
client. Right. Number of IPs will be mentioned by a client, and based on that, you will select a CIDR, or you will get a CIDR, and based on that, you will calculate number of IPs. Right. Can I directly have a machine or a resource, anything in a VNet?
You need to have a subnet.
Minimum 2, minimum 1. What is the minimum requirement of subnet, and what is the maximum requirement, limit of subnet?
Minimum is 1 and maximum as much as you want.
Okay, as much as I want is fine, but again, what is the benchmark of that number? Or depends on what? कोई तो limitation होगा
Available
subnet, correct? Right, available IP.
IPs.
राइट एक आपके एक VNet में कितने IPs आपने ये कर रखा है, कितने IPs का नेटवर्क बना रखा है, उसको आप जितना भी फर्दर डिवाइड कर सकते हो, दोस मेनी सबनेट्स यू कैन हैव। तो एक्चुअल में नंबर ऑफ सबनेट्स पे कोई लिमिटेशन नहीं है, सो योर आंसर इज करेक्ट, एंड नंबर ऑफ सबनेट्स यू कैन हैव, बट IPs जो है आपके पास वो लिमिटेड हो गए, राइट। लिमिटेड अगर IPs हो गए तो उतने ही आप सबनेट्स में ये कर सकते हो। व्हाट आर द टोटल IPs एंड यूजेबल IPs, डिफरेंस क्या है दोनों में, नंबर का डिफरेंस और डेफिनेशन का डिफरेंस? टोटल IPs सपोज X है तो यूजेबल IPs X माइनस क्या हो गए, एंड व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ टोटल IPs एंड usable IP? Anyone can answer.
-5. Usable IPs are -5.
Okay, and what do you exactly mean by usable IP and total IP? What is the difference?
Total IPs
सिंपल है,
are which
यूजेबल
you
IPs इज समथिंग व्हिच यू कैन यूज, आप किसी
Yes,
अपने इस पे लगा सकते हो, आपके रिसोर्स पे, वर्चुअल मशीन, स्टोरेज वगैरह कुछ भी हो, आप उस पे अप्लाई कर सकते हो। और जो टोटल IPs है उसमें से सारे यूज नहीं कर सकते हो आप, 5 जो है रिजर्व हो जाता है, जो ही सेड -5। सो नाउ दोस 5 वो किस चीज के लिए रिजर्व्ड होते हैं, हु कैन टेल दैट?
Um,
Oh,
First, network. Second, broadcast. Let me check. And third is DHCP. Fourth, router, and fifth for future use.
Okay. Yes, answer and usage are correct, but I think uh,
Hmm.
a single point you missed here. This is second is for
one is for
broadcast, से
DHCP.
मतलब ये serial number second हुआ, but broadcast पे कौन सा IP यूज होगा हमेशा? Last IP. Okay, so whatever the last IP of that range, वो यूज होगा broadcasting पे। Let's say अगर मैं कोई यूज कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पर IP, let me open a notepad. We have done this already guys, इसलिए मैं इसको थोड़ा सा fast ये कर रहा हूँ। So if let's say if I'm using 0 to 124, तो इसमें नेटवर्क एड्रेस, नेटवर्क वाला IP कौन सा होगा? I hope you understand when I write this 0 to 124 का मतलब क्या है, right? So it's let's say 10.0.0.0 से लेकर 10.0.0.1 2 3 4 5 इसी तरह से चल रहा है suppose, and then we have 124. This is what I mean. Let me write it down, थोड़ा सा लिख देता, it will be more clear to you guys, confusion नहीं होना चाहिए। So this is what I mean when I say 0 to 124 मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ, obvious है कि इसके बीच में 6 7 8 9 ये सब आ रहा है। So this is my range when I say I'm using 0 to 124, this is my range। तो इसमें अब जो है नेटवर्क एड्रेस कौन सा है?
0.
First one, 0.
ये हुआ आपका नेटवर्क एड्रेस। ओके, ब्रॉडकास्ट एड्रेस कौन सा होगा इसमें?
Last one, I will.
120.
Last one.
राइट, सो अंडरस्टूड। 2 नहीं होगा यहाँ पर, दिस इज जस्ट अ सीरियल नंबर, मैंने अपने अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए दे रखा है, राइट। दिस कुड बी ABCD, कुछ भी हो सकता है। ये IP याद रखिए कि सेकंड नंबर का जो IP है दैट इज नॉट योर ब्रॉडकास्ट IP। ब्रॉडकास्ट IP आपका हमेशा होगा लास्ट वाला। तो आपको ऐसे लिखना है तो भी आप मेंशन कर सकते हो, इसको लास्ट में भी ले सकते हो, जिस भी तरह से आपको याद रखने में इजी हो, बस कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो क्लियर होना चाहिए। सो 10.0.0.0 के बाद 10.0.0.1 किस लिए यूज हो रहा है? DHCP के लिए। देन 10.0.0.2 किस लिए यूज हो रहा है? राउटर के लिए। व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय राउटर, कब काम में आता है? व्हाट एग्जैक्टली राउटर का मतलब क्या है यहाँ पर, या व्हाई डू वी रिक्वायर राउटर?
For a private IP address.
Could you elaborate?
For connectivity, we discussed in previous sessions. Why
Yes,
we
could
use
you
router.
elaborate? There's a word which I'm looking for.
For
Netting?
purpose.
Yes, I got an offline answer, public to private, but yes, netting. That's the word I was looking for. Netting. Okay, so 10.0.0.3 जो है आपका future purposes के लिए use हो रहा है. Ignore the caps on this. And then जो last आपका होगा 124 ये आपका हुआ broadcast के लिए. Clear है? So these are the 5 IPs which gets minus. किस level पे minus होते हैं ये? VNet level पे या subnet पे?
सबनेट पे।
Net.
So if I have 1 VNet and 5 subnets, तो सिर्फ 5 IP एक बार में डिटेक्ट हो रहे हैं या 25 IPs हर सबनेट के पास एक 5-5? Correct. Yes. I hope all of you have this clarity, right? Okay. Now let's go back to our diagram here. Let's say this black one is representing VNet, red is representing your subnets, and these are your resources. So let's say I have resources here. Resource could be anything, guys, but for practice and for training sessions, I'm just using virtual machines. I mean, I will be calling them virtual machine, but it is not necessary that every time a resource is virtual machine. It could be storage, it could be web app, it could be app service, function app, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Yeah. Now, a few questions. Though we have done it yesterday already, but still, we'll do it again. Okay. So my first question is, can these two machines talk to each other without doing anything, guys? I'm not talking about any solution as of now. Okay, we can apply this, we can apply that. I'm not talking about that at all. Okay. As of now, I've just created this. I have not done anything, and I'm just asking you a few questions. So my first question is, can these two machines talk to each other?
I believe yes.
Yes.
Can these two machines talk to each other?
Yeah, because they are
Yeah.
same subnet.
Same subnet.
Can these two machines talk to each other?
Yes.
Yes.
These two?
Yes.
Let me quickly write down one more information here. Let's say this VNet of ours, it is in sorry, East US. This is in Central India. No, it is not going to change anything. जो questions अभी पूछा है इसमें कोई change नहीं हो रहा है. Just for the information, I'm writing that. So this is clear to you guys, right? And yesterday's practical was, let's say यहाँ पर 3 subnets है, but I want बाकी सब एक दूसरे से बात करते हैं. That is fine. I do not want subnet B to talk to subnet C. I do not want this. So this we achieved using, what did we do?
Deny
Rule?
the rule, yeah.
Rule on what?
Create an inbound rule on allow VNet.
Guys, in training, it is always fine. ठीक है, keywords में मैं answer ले रहा हूँ, but do not make it a habit. Interview में keyword answer बिल्कुल भी accepted नहीं होते हैं. I understand all of you are coming with a heavy experience and all of you know all these things. तो मैं interview etiquette नहीं सिखाने वाला हूँ आपको. But just telling you, sharing my experience. When I take interview, कोई सही भी बोल रहा है, keyword में answer आता है, so वो एक फीलिंग आता है कि यार इसको या तो कॉन्सेप्ट पता नहीं है, और मे बी ही इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, ही और शी इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस, या तो फिर कॉन्सेप्ट आता नहीं है, वो पहला थॉट है. सो ट्रेनिंग में इज फाइन, बट आई वुड सजेस्ट के मेक इट अ हैबिट टू एक्सप्लेन योर आंसर्स. एंड एक चीज के दो तरीके भी बता दो, तो उससे ज्यादा बेटर और कुछ नहीं हो सकता है कि किसी ने कुछ एक पूछ लिया आपको, आप उसके दो तरीके बता दो, दैट दिस कुड बी अचीव फ्रॉम दिस वे और फ्रॉम द अदर वे. So while answering, please make sure सिर्फ keywords के साथ आप don't play with keywords in an interview. यहाँ पर I am okay with it, और यहाँ पर भी आप पूरा आंसर देना चाहते हो तो that is fine with me. बिकॉज आज नहीं तो कल हम इंटरव्यू की प्रैक्टिस और प्रिपरेशन शुरू करने ही वाले हैं. बट आई अंडरस्टैंड यू गाइज आर कमिंग विद एक्सपीरियंस, ऑल ऑफ यू नो हाउ टू टेक इंटरव्यू, हाउ टू गिव इंटरव्यू. सो I won't be wasting your time much on this. Rather, I would focus on technical things. Right. So yes. How, what did we do? Rules किस पे ये किया हमने?
So we'll apply a rule on subnet B. The outbound rule, it would be with a lesser priority, so that they won't talk to each other. Subnet B and subnet C.
Okay.
Though that would be within the same VNet.
No, but did we apply it on a subnet? Where did we apply the rule? The question is, where did we apply the rule? Where do we apply
Nick.
rules? Where are these rules?
NSG,
We apply it on the NSG.
NSG, right, guys? Not say that you apply rule on subnet. There is no scope on a subnet. We can apply. We can do anything. Scope नहीं है कोई subnet पे rule का. You apply these rules on an NSG, and then you associate that NSG with either subnet or machine. If my requirement was कि ये दो machine आपस में बात नहीं करना चाहते, then I would have placed it on a machine. और machine के भी किस specific component पे apply होता है NSG?
Nick.
Subnet or NIC.
NIC. NIC is
NIC.
network interface card. ठीक है?
Yes.
So we can either associate it with NIC, NIC NIC, or सबनेट लेवल. बट द रिक्वायरमेंट वाज कि ये पूरा सबनेट, इसमें जितने भी मशीन है अभी के और फ्यूचर के, ये बात ही नहीं करनी चाहिए किससे, इन सबनेट से. सो आई सिंपली मेक एनएसजी और यहाँ पे किसी कहीं पे अप्लाई कर दूंगा मैं, दैट्स ऑल, डन. क्लियर गाइस?
Yes.
Okay, now this subnet, can this subnet talk to this, or can this machine talk to this machine? Now guys, if I ask a question here, can this VNet talk to this VNet? तो इसका मतलब it is implied. I mean, I am not being lazy. It's not the case that I don't want to explain, but I want to keep it realistic ताकि आपको इंटरव्यू में जब क्वेश्चन आए ना तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये क्या पूछ लिया. So if a person is asking that my one VNet is in East US, another one is in Central India, I have a machine in VNet that VNet wants subnet A, or just a simple question that can these VNets talk to each other? So you should not have this in your mind कि वो VNet की बात कर रहा है, because VNet level पे कोई बात ही नहीं हो सकती है. Let's say that I do not have these machines, तो VNet आपस में, is there any scope कि VNet आपस में पिंग या बात कर सके? कनेक्टिविटी वगैरह तो
No.
छोड़ दो आप, there is no scope, right? So
Yes.
if an interviewer is asking you about VNet, it is implied that there is a subnet. वैसे भी subnet के बिना VNet तो बन ही नहीं सकता, right? It is implied that
Yes.
there is a subnet, and it is implied in that question that within that subnet there is at least one resource which is capable of talking. So if I say, can these VNet talk to each other? What I mean here, can one of these machines can talk to one of these machines? Is it clear?
Yeah.
So my question again here, can this VNet talk to this VNet?
No.
Clear to everyone? And why not? Is it because this is in East US and that is in Central India?
No. VNet.
I mean, VNets don't cannot
VNet.
communicate.
Yeah. VNets can't talk to each other.
Was that Akib bhai or Ibrahim bhai? Who was that?
No, I just
Okay.
acknowledged you. You said na कि this
Okay,
is,
okay, that's
yeah.
fine, that's fine. किसी का भी हो, that's okay. We are not pointing out
Yeah.
anyone here. The point is कि VNet कहीं पर भी हो, आपकी किसी भी रीजन में हो, VNet cannot communicate with each other. ये सब confusion
Yeah.
create करने के लिए लिखा है इतना Central India और East India, East US and Central India. ठीक है. Otherwise वो दोनों East US में भी होते हैं, they cannot talk to each other. दोनों Central India में भी होते हैं, तो भी they cannot talk to each other. VNet का मतलब ये होता है virtual network, मतलब एक segregated network आपको दे दिया. Is it clear till here to all of you?
Yeah.
Right? So by default,
Yeah.
all of these subnets can talk to each other. By default, these VNets cannot talk to each other. But the business requirement we had yesterday, that these two subnets, which can talk to each other by default, now the business requirement is they should not talk to each other. So how do we achieve that? Using NSG. ठीक है, इसी तरह के टिकट्स आएंगे आप लोगों को, और इसी तरह से आपको इंटरव्यू में एक्सप्लेन करना है कि आप लोग क्या करते थे. यू कैन से दीज सॉर्ट ऑफ टिकट्स वी यूज्ड टू गेट, कि ये दोनों सबनेट्स का कम्युनिकेशन बंद करना है, ये दो मशीन्स का कम्युनिकेशन बंद करना है, और मे बी देयर आर वीनेट्स एंड now there is a business requirement कि ये दोनों VNets में communication होनी चाहिए. By default there is no communication. Initially we thought नहीं होनी चाहिए communication, इसलिए इनको different VNet में रखा था, or maybe for some reason we kept it in different VNet. But now the requirement is that these two VNets should talk to each other. So what is the service do we have? People who attended yesterday's session, I already named it. Meanwhile, Ibrahim bhai, whenever you create a machine, please make sure to delete आपके resource group में काफी disks जो थे unassigned पड़े हुए थे काफी टाइम से, which cost too much of balance to our subscription. I hope इस महीने का वैसे चल जाएगा. But anyone who's practicing, please make sure you delete it. Right, guys? Which service are we using? I want VNet 1 to talk to VNet 2.
Is it peering?
VNet peering.
VNet peering. Perfect. VNet peering is the service which we are going to use, post which these two machines will talk to each other. And when I say talk to each other, what do you understand by that?
Subnet A, subnets will talk to each other.
Right, but subnet, how will you check that? Talk मतलब क्या है? कोई machine बोलेगी तो नहीं, this is obvious, right? So how will you check that?
Pinging communication.
By pinging, right? By pinging. Like if now I want to check if my machine is talking to Google, or if it is capable of talking to Google or internet, anyone, what will I do here? I'll come here and I'll type. And if I'm getting these replies, it shows it is talking. I have sent 4 files, 4 of them were received, 0% loss, 100% were received. So I'm talking to them. Now let's say if I send to it wasn't able to talk because there's no website on with this name. Now let me check if there is any website and which is not reachable. Let me see. I'm not sure if we have any. This is how also it looks. इसका मतलब exist ही नहीं करता है कुछ ऐसा. Tsoft वाला जो ये error था, कोई find ही नहीं कर पाया. ये exist करता है, but there is no connectivity between these. So if I ping one machine from subnet X to subnet A, इनमें से कौन सा error आएगा मुझको? ये वाला या ये वाला? What do you think? Request timeout आएगा या
request timeout?
Request timeout. Why?
They don't have connectivity.
Right, because ऐसा कोई exist करता है कुछ चीज, but connectivity नहीं है. ठीक है? वैसे ये networking का question है, कोई पूछने नहीं वाला है आपसे. Just for your knowledge. So now let's go and start with the practical. Now most of the time guys हम theory थोड़ा करेंगे और practical ज़्यादा. I'm not sure if किसी के लिए excitement होगा, किसी के लिए exciting होगा, किसी के लिए boring होगी classes. But ज़्यादा time अब हम लोगों का practical में ही जाने वाला है. So can't help with it, right? वो करना ही पड़ेगा आप लोगों को. And in fact you will learn more. Practical करते हुए ज़्यादा सीखोगे आप. So I'll take two resource groups here. और एक resource group में भी कर सकते हैं, but just to avoid confusion, I'll take 2 different resource groups. Otherwise, I can create 2 virtual networks in one resource group and I can do this practical. It has nothing to do with your resource group. I hope you guys understand that, right? Any volunteer do I get? I want one of you to create one virtual machine in your own resource group using your VNet, subnet, किसी भी तरह से कुछ भी कर लो. Amit bhai, are you on computer?
No, actually I'm on my phone.
Okay. Vishal, are you using laptop?
मैं करूँ एक.
Where is your resource group, Ibrahim bhai? ठीक है, do it. So
अच्छा सोहेल भाई एक ऑफ टॉपिक क्वेश्चन. उस दिन क्या रहेगा था आप बताएंगे मुझे, मतलब
हाँ, I'll share it with you. You create one machine here. Okay, you create one machine here. एक Windows machine बना लो, simple. ठीक है, and उसका user ID and password share कर देना, so I can log in both of those machines here. वैसे अब आप लोग प्रैक्टिस करो आपस में, कोई अगर 2 पेयर बना के, तो आप अपने अपने लेवल पे लॉगिन करके भी पिंग करके देख सकते हो, बट आई वांट टू डू इट हियर सो यू गाइस शुड बी एबल टू सी इट कि पहले पिंग नहीं कर रहा तो कैसे दिखता है, व्हेन आई डू VNet पेयरिंग तब कैसे दिखेगा, राइट? सो यू शुड बी एबल टू सी इट, इसलिए आई विल लॉग इन टू बोथ ऑफ द मशीन। सो यू क्रिएट अ वर्चुअल मशीन हियर, विंडोज का कोई भी वर्जन ले लो, एक वर्चुअल मशीन बना लो अपने हिसाब से, कोई भी सबनेट कुछ भी ये ले लो। आईपी कौन सा यूज करने वाला है, टेल मी दैट, सो आई विल यूज समथिंग एल्स। Which range of IP do you plan to use? Use anything from 192, क्लास C से कोई भी यूज कर लो,
ओके।
ठीक है?
तो सोहेल भाई एक्चुअली आईपी का इतना नॉलेज नहीं है। नॉर्मल क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ मैं
हाँ,
विदाउट
मेक अ डिफॉल्ट वन, मेक अ डिफॉल्ट,
हाँ
जो
वही
जो भी डिफॉल्ट ले रहा है बस एक मशीन क्रिएट कर दो, एंड मेक श्योर नॉट टू फॉरगेट पासवर्ड वगैरह जो है उसका भूलो मत।
यस
एंड आई एम शेयरिंग इट इन द ग्रुप इब्राहिम भाई, जो डिस्क रह गए थे वो मैं ग्रुप में भेज रहा हूँ, यू कैन चेक इट देयर।
ओके। नहीं एक्चुअली मैंने वो सेलेक्ट किया था ना क्या कि सब जो भी रिसोर्स अटैच है ना उससे तो वो डिलीट होना चाहिए। तो
ओके,
मैं चेक भी किया कुमेल वैसे तो वो बोले कि ऑल सॉर्टेड बोल के, तो पता नहीं शायद फिर भी रह गया होगा।
नो वरीज, कोई इशू नहीं, ठीक है? आई हैव शेयर्ड इट इन द ग्रुप, यू
ओके
कैन चेक क्या रह गया था। स्टार्ट क्रिएटिंग अ मशीन एंड आई विल क्रिएट वन इन माय रिसोर्स ग्रुप।
ओके
वैसे guys, I already have one virtual machine to do this practical, but I'll just create another one. We could do this practical using this machine यहाँ से easily हो सकता है। I already have a VNet सब कुछ, but just थोड़ा आप लोगों को भी याद आ जाए, so I'll do it. I'll create another virtual machine here. Yes, would anyone like to? Vishal, are you in office or can you at least answer from your mobile?
I'm in office, sir.
Okay, that's okay then. You can be on mute. Yogesh, I'm sure you can create it. Sister, did you create a machine till now?
Yes, I have.
Anyone who hasn't created a single machine up tak? I hope all of you have done that. So let me do it for you. I will create. I was wondering if one of you could give me instructions how to do it, but I think all of you have already created a virtual machine. So let's not waste time. I hope Ibrahim, you have already started creating your VNet, right?
Yeah, yes.
So I click on virtual machine, or I can click on server directly. We'll take this. Which region did you take?
By East US.
That's fine. I'm taking Sweden. Make sure to allow these ports.
Okay, all of them.
Right. यहाँ पर कुछ भी select कर लो. We are not working on that. Here you will get a by default network और subnets वगैरह आपको अपने आप मिल जाएगा. You won't have to make any changes. And guys, which IPs are we going to check? Are we going to work with public IPs or private IPs?
Private.
Right. We'll use public IP only to take remote. That too because Azure के private IP और मेरे प्राइवेट आईपी में हमने अभी तक कोई कनेक्शन स्टैब्लिश नहीं कर रखा है, एंड दैट इज अ कॉस्टली थिंग. विल डू इट बट फॉर सम टाइम, उसके बाद हम उसको फिर से डिलीट कर देंगे. So in practice you will never ever see कि मैं किसी प्राइवेट आईपी से रिमोट ले रहा हूँ, other than एक दो सेशंस में हम जितना देखेंगे बस उतना ही, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. Yes, meanwhile guys, anyone has any question while this is being created? Anyone, किसी को कुछ नहीं समझ में आया अब तक? Anyone
Is
missed anything?
is
Yes,
VNET pairing chargeable? मतलब वो भी
sorry,
चार्ज कॉस्ट में आता है VNET pairing.
VNET pairing, where do you think we can check that? I'll answer that, but where do you think we can check that?
Azure calculator.
Yeah, let's see. Do not forget to use these tools guys. इसको use करते रहो आप लोग, और इसको इंटरव्यू में भी बोलना है आपको कई बार कि हम ये करते थे, ये सब हम लोग करते थे. सो इसको यूज करते रहोगे तो ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस रहेगी अच्छे से. वर्चुअल नेटवर्क, डू यू सी पियरिंग? पियरिंग का कुछ दिख रहा है यहाँ पर रिसोर्स? नो, तो यहाँ पर उसका चार्ज नहीं लगने वाला. बाय द वे, विल यू गेट चार्ज फॉर वर्चुअल नेटवर्क? फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट वर्चुअल नेटवर्क के लिए चार्ज लगेगा क्या आपको?
No, we don't get charged for it. Huh?
Right. If you don't get charged for virtual network,
But we do have option VPN, right?
VPN is a different thing.
Okay.
So let's see for peering किस तरह से costing है इनकी. Upfront cost कुछ नहीं है. Here कुछ किसी तरह के चार्जेस डेफिनेटली है. What exactly it is, किस तरह से चार्जेस है, that we can read in detail if you want. उसको कर सकते हो आप, but let me see, let me delete all of these first and then we'll just type VNet peering और देखते हैं. सिर्फ VNet पेयरिंग बनाने के आपके कोई चार्ज नहीं होंगे. चार्जेस अगर होते भी हैं तो वो डेटा मोमेंट के जो चार्जेस है वो होंगे. So only 1 minute is remaining guys. Anyone has any question? Meanwhile I'll see if my machine is working here. Okay, it is up and ready, and I've got the details from Ibrahim bhai. Let me open that machine also in front of you.
सोहेल भाई, एजेंट स्टेटस इज नॉट रेडी ऐसा कुछ बता रहा है, कुछ करना पड़ेगा ट्रबल शूट?
नहीं
Restart
that's
होता
okay. नहीं that's okay. Leave it. हो जाएगा थोड़ी देर में. Takes time, थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है मशीन को स्पिन अप होने में. Okay, something was failed here. I'll try to log in and I'll see. Guys, if this finishes, we are starting immediately without any break using the same link. I'll try to log into this machine meanwhile, Ibrahim, and I'll let you know if it is working. If not, we'll see what can be done.
Sure.